All right, let's watch Jeremy Jahns. I have to watch a real review of this movie. I'm sorry. Like, I have to watch an actual review.
The most anticipated film of the year, Madam Web. And speaking of the web, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, here to protect you from the dangers of the web. This video is brought to you by NordVPN. NordVPN's a VPN service that's more than just a VPN service, protecting you
I will
and
never
your information
skip
as you traverse this digital hellscape known
someone's
as
sponsor.
the internet.
They deserve it.
Malware, trackers, ads. Thank you for sitting through the ads in my videos. I do appreciate that. NordVPN's threat protection is there to inform you about the vulnerabilities in your app, because we've all been there, right? Oh, 10 million downloads on this app. Must be safe. No, it's not. There's just 10 million other people who are also vulnerable. Don't do that. Don't be them. And as I said, it's more than just a VPN service. As seen with NordPass Password Manager.
Dude, my dad is so bad with cybersecurity, man. My dad, like, oh my god. I had to, like, revamp my dad's freaking passwords because he kept using, like, basic shit like his name as his password and things like that. Oh my god. My dad is so bad with all of that. Oh my god.
You can save your login info safely and securely, because again, who hasn't been there? Different username and password for everything, because you want to be safe, right? Smart. Which makes logging in the process of reacquiring my username and changing my password. Not anymore. Nord keeps it in one spot for you. Safe, secure, easy. So click the link below, go to nordvpn.com/Jahns. Users can get a huge discount with the purchase of a 2-year plan plus 4 extra months. Try it risk-free right now with a 30-day money-back guarantee. And
oh
now,
yeah.
all of
Bomber
the
for sure.
Morgan time, none of the memeability.
There we go.
So Madam Web's the newest Sony property that's essentially Spider-Man characters, but not in a Spider-Man world, because they can't do that. Spider-Verse without the Spider-Man, essentially. Stars Dakota Johnson as Madam Web.
Dakota Johnson, honestly and unironically, one of the most overrated actresses ever. I don't think I've ever seen a good role of Dakota Johnson. Like, I'm not even a 50 Shades of Grey, like, hater. I think, like, that's fine. But I don't think she's ever actually made a particularly good movie. Like, am I wrong on this? I don't think she's made any good movies ever. But let's continue. Also, by the way, she's a Nepo baby. She literally is like, her parents are giga rich. And that's how she became an actress. Just wanted to point that out as well. You even know what the movie's about? Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, I think part of it, Yumi, if you're talking about, like, her interviews, I've watched her interviews about this movie. I think she literally knew the movie was going to be trash to the point that she actually fired her agent. Like, her agent, after making this movie, she fired him. She didn't want to make this movie. I think she was kind of forced into it. So I will tell her that. I will say that in her favor. She at least knew that this was kind of, like, not a thing to be in. Yeah, she completely just giga-fired her agent. And Alpha, welcome, buddy. How you doing? Pleasure to have you in here. We're looking up a review of Madam Web.
Johnson's character can see the future before it happens. She has to babysit these 3 girls who are being hunted by this spider guy. That is to say, he's a guy with Spider-Man powers who's trying to kill them. They're essentially 3 Jane Connors she has to protect from Spider Terminator, who wants to kill them because of who they will become later.
Spider Terminator. You know, I think he unironically, by accident, gave Sony their next idea. I could see a Sony exec looking at this being like, Terminator? Spider-Man. If we put it together, we can make so much money. Yes! We can combine both franchises. Yes! I unironically think there's some exec that's going to listen to this and be like, you know, he's onto something. And like, Jeremy Jahns saying this, like, it's a really dumb idea. And, oh, God. Oh, my God. Marketing execs are so idiotic. Fox Still's own Terminator. Yeah, they do. But, I mean, they don't have to call it the Spider Terminator. They could just make it into a Spider Terminator. A robot Spider-Man that time travels. I don't know. Something like that. Sony couldn't pull it off. Oh, no, that's the point, Doc. They wouldn't be able to pull it off. Absolutely not. Yeah, Alpha, we've been playing that for the past several days.
in life. Okay, going deep on this one because the damaged optimist you see before you still likes to find something he liked in a movie. I will say Dakota Johnson gives it her all. There are moments where she's actually having fun in here. Moments that feel like ad-libbed moments.
Every bad movie has good moments. This is true. Unironically. And Jeremy Jahns will call out that this happens. Like his, oh man, dude, one of my favorite reviews of a movie. This is one reason I love Jeremy Jahns as a YouTube movie talker and discusser. Reviewer. Sorry, my brain couldn't remember the word. Reviewer. He reviewed the Resident Evil movie, the one that Netflix did. The really, really bad one. And I watched that movie. And then I watched Jeremy Jahns' review of it. I watched his reviews for a lot of his movies because he does a pretty good job telling it like it is. And everyone who reviewed that movie talked about how bad it was. And yes, the Resident Evil movie made by Netflix was a bad movie. Unironically, just a bad movie. However, there were some very shining scenes in that movie where, like, for example, Bomber, did you see the movie? Dude, the best scene in that movie by far was the entire scene where they first go into the mansion. And no, not the TV show. I'm talking about the movie. They made a movie as well. I'm not talking about the TV show. I'm talking about the movie. There's a scene where Chris Redfield goes into the Spencer mansion, and he's in they're being hunted, the first attack by the zombies, and the lights go out, and he's trying to find the zombies by just the muzzle flash. So basically the entire scene is only flashes of being lit up by the muzzle flash of his shotgun. Unironically, terrible movie with a brilliant scene. That scene was so good. Completely live action, yeah. And the movie was terrible. But man, that scene was really good. And the only person who called out scenes like that, there were a couple of shining scenes like that, was Jeremy Jahns. Everyone said, oh yeah, this movie sucks, man. Oh, let's make fun of it. Meme. But only Jeremy Jahns actually talked about the various few, but they're shining scenes in the movie.
Actually,
that's why I like it
in their own way. I believe these moments to be ad-libbed moments because they are anomalies in this film. That is to say, anomalies in.
Jeremy Jahns is implying the writers are bad. You know why? Because he's willing to say it. Anything the writers wrote, not so great. The lines that, hey, you know, maybe Dakota Johnson has some acting ability. The ones that she ad-libbed, they were pretty good. Maybe she has some ability. Yeah, possible.
The script. There are lines and moments delivered in this movie. You can almost feel someone step in while they were filming and be like, no.
Yep.
No ad-libbing. Read the line exactly as it's written in
and they're
the
flat.
script. It has a few screenwriters attached to it.
Yeah.
2 of which wrote Morbius. Can you do that? They are indeed awful because this script is hot garbage.
Look at that. Look at that. He's willing to say it. Oh my God. This review is already better than Chris Stuckman's review, guys. It's already better. An actual review. Look at, oh my God. It feels so good to listen to an actual review. Holy shit. I felt like I was taking crazy pills listening to the other one. Oh my God.
Passed out. Getting back. Even in the first 10 minutes of the movie, I was like, okay, so there's dialogue.
Yeah.
This is the movie. After watching the movie, I understand the Dakota Johnson interviews about the movie. Makes it much more hilarious, kind of sad at the same time. That is to say,
she's just making fun of the movie the entire time, and I give her full credit for that.
The picture's much more clear. You can understand how she's probably sitting there during interviews like,
yep.
As Linkin Park once said, in the end, it doesn't even matter. Also, her character, Cassandra Webb being her name, she's kind of an asshole. And not in that way of, yeah, but she learns by the end.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially she does, but it doesn't feel earned. It doesn't feel like she learned anything. When these girls are in trouble, they're like, oh my gosh, are you going to help me? She's like, no, I'm dropping you off with your parents. This is your parents' shit to deal with. After she...
This guy doesn't ramble at all. He talks about his thing. all of his reviews are from 7 minutes to, I think his longest one is like 12 minutes long. That's it. And it's just a clean review. He talks about things he likes. He talks about things he doesn't like. He gives a, usually spoiler-ish free review. Sometimes he'll go a little bit in spoiler territory, a little bit. And that's totally fine, because that's just what you get from watching a review, period. But he tries to keep it as spoiler-free as possible. He just does a good job. He's the best. This is why this is the only reviewer I will watch every video of, even for movies I've not seen. He's just that good.
Seen a super-powered spider guy walking on the ceiling trying to kill them. I was like, aren't you an EMT? Haven't you elected to save people just as a career path? I'll save people, I'll help people, as long as I'm, getting underpaid for it. Otherwise, you're on your own. She just came across as a miserable, curmudgeonous cat lady. Yes, she is a cat lady. Also, the girls who are being hunted by Spider Guy, they have their own characters, I'll give them that. They distinctly feel different. They have their different personality types. But I still don't know any more about them. That's the extent that the movie gives me. They're there to be saved.
Do you guys want a spoiler that's really sad? You never actually see Sydney Sweeney in a suit being sexy at all. The extent that you get of Sydney Sweeney, which was like a giant draw for anyone who legitimately wanted to watch this movie. Sydney Sweeney is one of the most gorgeous women of all time, straight up. And she was looking smoking hot in the lead up to this movie. But she's only in suit in like weird like dream sequences, and that is it. Like, that is literally it. There's not a single real scene of her with any growth or any real shit or any like spider stuff at all. It is an absolute travesty, man. It is an absolute travesty.
PlayStation trophies, essentially. Save the 3 girls, get a gold trophy.
Yep.
Sweet, did it. That's
Platinum.
as deep as it gets. One's more pragmatic, the other one's really nerdy and shy, and the other one flips off ambulances. But that's all I know about them. The entirety of their characters in this movie is based on one vision.
Man, I love that my character is flipping off ambulances. That's it. That's the entire encapsulation of my character. Oh my god, dude. If I was that actor, I would be pissed.
Of what they will be and what they will do.
It's like almost extra
one day
level.
They're all going to beat this guy's ass to death, so obviously they're heroes and we need to save them. But who are they now? Fuck if I know. There's a couple of dialogue moments, but again, it's just dialogue moments. The movie tells, it doesn't show.
Oh,
that
God.
illusion of character aside, they're no deeper than, say, people in the mall in Dead Rising. You need to save from the
extras.
zombies.
Like
you
I
don't
said,
need to
extras.
care about these characters any more than you have to care about them past the capacity of, oh, gotta save them. Because that's the plan. Maybe if this...
Wait, you mean Sony couldn't write a character? What? When? This has never happened before. Sony always writes characters, guys, especially the minor ones. What do you mean? I couldn't even say it with a straight face, man. Holy crap. Sony is like addicted to not writing characters. They love not writing them.
The movie had 1, maybe 2 characters she needed to save. So the movie can concentrate more on fewer characters. Not 3 characters who definitely wouldn't hang out outside the capacity of this film. 3 characters who, if they live through it, will be like, all right, that was crazy. All right, well, see you never. They
See you
feel
never.
the synergy between them. As for the villain, Ezekiel Sims, Spider Guy who's not Spider-Man but has Spider-Man-like powers. Yeah.
I just realized they look incredibly similar. Just like person-wise. I mean, I'm glad Jeremy Jahns didn't act in this movie, but man, I feel like he could have. I'm just pointing that out. they're like almost the exact same. Like if you account for the lighting, because the lighting is tinting this guy a little bit like darker yellow. They look remarkably similar. Anyways.
He's a forgettable guy with spider powers, wants to kill these girls to alter the future, so he lives. Terminator. Played by Tahar Rahim. Yeah. I don't know much about him, to be honest. I don't expect actors to always do the heavy lifting. Like I said, this dude was shot in the knee from the get-go because he's in this movie with this script. Not everyone's going to be Raul Julia in Street Fighter as Bison elevated
art. Raul Julia on Street Fighter absolutely giga chatted his way throughout the entire movie. And it was a bad movie, but man, that movie was fun. Dude, Street Fighter movie was so fun. It was so stupid, so bad, but so fun. And it gave me, oh my god, Goddess Kylie Minogue as Cammy. Oh my god. Holy shit.
The shit out of the content. Or Matt Smith and Morbius being like, okay, read the script.
Yeah! Matt Smith was the best part of Morbius, man. We were just talking about this last night. We were just talking about this in here last night. Oh, so good.
I'm going to have at least one scene that's going to go viral. If it can't be good, it's going to be memeable. This poor guy was in a movie that just made him boring. And to be fair to him, there were moments where he was saying things and his lips did not match what he was saying. It was always his voice you heard.
Interesting.
There were just scenes where he was like, we must find them.
Wait, really?
We must die. And we've seen enough Spider-Man movies, played enough Spider-Man games. You know when
Wait, did they dub over his lines? Is that a thing? Interesting. Huh.
Spider-Man is running along a building and he's swinging and he's flipping and he's doing his thing. His voice sounds like it's coming out of a body that is doing those acrobatics.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be there in a second. This dude's running up a wall, flipping over a rooftop, and his voice is still like, I'll be there momentarily. It just didn't sound like the character I was watching was saying that. It was odd, it was awkward.
Certain games do that too, really poorly.
They were making a movie in which you could make the call. The call being, fuck it. This movie...
Hold on, we gotta listen to that line again. That was art.
Running up a wall, flipping over a rooftop, and his voice is still like, I'll be there momentarily. It just didn't sound like the character I was watching was saying that. It was odd, it was awkward, and I think it comes down to the fact that everyone knew they were making a movie in which you could make the call. The call being, fuck it. This movie...
Yep. It's just a lack. It's just a lack of care put into every single aspect of the movie. And that's why the movie sucks. But you know, Jeremy Jahns is willing to say it. And he's willing to illustrate the various ways that every single aspect of this movie just kind of just fucking sucks. As opposed to Chris Stuckman, who's like, well, you know, I can't review a movie like this because it's and you know, I made an indie movie once, man, and you know, it's a struggle, man. Dude, just tell it like it is, man. If it's a bad movie, just say it's a bad movie. No one's going to be mad at you, bro.
It feels like a movie that would have come out when the movie takes place. I'm not talking Toby, Spider-Man 2, X-Men 2, any of the highs, no. Talking about that mid-2000s lull of comic book movies where we were like, well, this is getting awful. I hope this gets shaped up sooner rather than later. Avengers,
the Hulk movies.
That would never work as a movie. It's a cinematic train wreck with the worst script of the year so far. I get it. Still pretty early in the year. Still, feel like it's going to hold that title for a while. It's a mess that lacks cohesion. A superhero film that once again has shoddy CGI and action sequences. A forgettable antagonist and a protagonist that feels like Madam Web in name only. It plays out like Dollar Store Next with Nicolas Cage meets Dollar Store Terminator.
Based next reference.
It plays out like Dollar Store Next.
No one knows this movie. This movie was a random small movie, relatively small movie that came out in, I think, what is it, like 2012? 2013 or something? Nicolas Cage is, he has a magic power, where we don't know why he has the power, where he can see exactly 3 minutes in the future. Nothing more, nothing less. Just 3 minutes in the future, which is far less useful than it sounds. And Jessica Biel, as soon as he meets Jessica Biel, he sees his entire like future and stuff with this woman. So she stands out because he can actually see much more than just the 3 minutes. Or I think he can't see anything, actually. Yeah, I think actually he can see literally nothing except one event far in the future with Jessica Biel. And so he's inexplicably drawn to her. And he's cheating at cards at a casino by reading only the next 3 minutes in the future. And he's caught by like the FBI, and he gets like involved in some action conspiracy. But like the movie was fun, and it was like actually an underrated movie, which was like one of those like those movies that don't get made today that we're just talking about, where there's a lot of movies that have like a silly idea, and if you make it with enough care and the actors try hard enough and the script is tight enough, it doesn't have to be like the best script ever. It wasn't, but it's a tight enough script that you're gonna make a tidy profit, not like a gigantic profit, but you're gonna make a tidy one. That's what exactly Next was, and it was a fun movie that a lot of people enjoyed, and I enjoyed it, and it was underrated. But like the problem is, no one knows this movie. Based Jeremy Jahns knows this movie. God damn, absolute best, guys. Absolute best. Forgot it existed. Oh no, I will never forget, dude. This was one of the best, hottest roles for Jessica Biel as well, man. Oh my god, Jessica Biel was a goddess in this movie. Oh.
With Nicolas Cage meets Dollar Store Terminator. If this movie had come out in say 2003, it would have been bad. But now it just feels worse. It just feels
it's worse because it's new.
Dog shit. All right, so Madam Web, have you seen it? What did you think about?
Oh man, Jeremy Jahns. Chris Stuckman is refusing to rate the movie. What do you rate this movie as?
It would have been bad, but now it just feels worse. It just feels like dog shit.
It feels like dog shit. There we go, guys. There we go. This is why. This is why actually reviewing a movie is important. You gotta call a dog shit movie dog shit. You just have to call it out.
All right, so Madam Web, have you seen it? What did you think about it?
Man.
Did you really watch this? Or what's your
favorite
date night or
this?
Valentine's Day movie tradition, of which
Oh
Madam
my
Web will
God.
probably never be? Whatever it is, whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here, and you
Holy
want to see more, click
smokes.
right here to see more.
Amazing, amazing discussion. Absolutely loved this discussion. This will definitely be one of the worst movies of this year. Absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind. So chat, I hope you guys enjoyed that little movie discussion. I haven't talked about like, something completely off kilter like that in a while. And we've not really talked about movie discussions. So definitely give this lovely video by Jeremy Jahns a like and a sub. If you have not followed Jeremy Jahns, maybe I've proven to you why. He is an amazing, amazing YouTuber. Easily the best video, best movie reviewer on the YouTube platform. Period, full stop. He's fun, he's contrite, he's simple, and he'll tell you like it is. Absolutely. One of the few, one of the only that'll just tell you like it is. Feel bad for Leah Actress? Oh yeah, no, absolutely. You can feel bad. Like he was even saying, like the certain scenes that she was kind of just, forced her own, mark on acting on it. They stood out because they were actually pretty good. Like her singular lines that you could tell were pretty extempore. There we go. Those were the better lines in the movie. He actually reviews his movies. Yeah, exactly. He doesn't pull a Chris Stuckman. Man, I'm gonna pull a Chris Stuckman someday. And it'll be on purpose. And I'm going to call it, I'm pulling the Chris Stuckman. But I just don't review something. I just talk around it the entire time. Oh my God. No worries, Lana. Hope you have a great night. Hope you enjoyed.